Thank you. Now, Mr. Mast.
Thank you, Chairman. I want to thank you all for your testimony. Good to see you all, many of you again. Some of us have spoken recently. Ms. Homendy, you and I have spoken already. My questions are reserved for you, so the rest of you can relax for a couple minutes. You're aware of the issue I'm going to speak to you about. It's literally grave concern because of fatalities in numerous communities in Florida. The only real tie to aviation is that they're planning to tie this train to Orlando International Airport. But I want to talk to you a little bit about NTSB, the Brightline train, and just try to understand something about NTSB is my goal in this conversation. NTSB reserves its investigations for crashes where you can learn something new about transportation world, something unique is happening. I have a pretty correct understanding there?
We have a specific statutory mandate, and on rail, it involves a serious, a fatality or a serious injury. It includes grade crossings, but they are the ones that we believe have significant safety issues that we would like to weigh in on.
So, to give some stats, we're talking about over the course of basically 5 to 6 years, some of that being test rail time, some of that being actual retail passengers, paying passengers, a total of about 75 miles of service, very short distance of train track running, an area that there has been freight rail running for many years and other passenger rails running for many years. In 2022, 22 fatalities, 2021, 7 fatalities, 2020, another 7 fatalities, 2019, 28 fatalities, 2018, 7 fatalities, 2017, 2 fatalities. At what point does the volume of incidents, some of them fatal, some of them non-fatal, many of them by suicide, many of them non-intentional, but at what point does volume of incident become something unique that needs to be looked at? And the reason this is very important to my community, the 75 miles that it's running largely doesn't run through my community right now, but they're expanding, doubling the length of this track to now run through my community up to the Orlando International Airport. And it has been captioned that this is the deadliest train in America per mile. I don't want it to be the deadliest train in America per mile, but now also running through the breadth of my community and my community now having those statistics. So at what point does this become the amount of instances that we have there make it unique?
Well, I have shared with the staff that I believe that we should do a special investigation on the Brightline fatalities and injuries. We recently launched on one that we thought we could open up an investigation, but it unfortunately was a suicide, which we do not do investigations of suicides. So we do continue to monitor safety on the line and work with FRA, who also has a responsibility to investigate those accidents as well.
My understanding was there was, I know the incident you're talking about, there's one that happened just a couple weeks prior to that one that was not a suicide. I think we made your staff aware of it. They were not tracking the incident. Looking at this, I guess you could say, or I should rather ask it, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Is there anything in your opinion, as we look at this, to say that something has changed to indicate the statistics would be different in the expanded rail service? Has something changed to say that the stats will be different? They went back up again in 2022 to 22 deaths. The year before they were 7, so it doesn't look like statistically there's a decline.
I'm not aware of anything, but I will say this occurred on the Northeast Corridor before Amtrak closed all the grade crossings. So that is how Amtrak dealt with it. You do have a significant safety problem in Florida. I've pulled up in a car and almost ended up right on the tracks because there'll be a light right before and then a light right after, and then you have no idea where you're supposed to pull up. So it is a significant issue.
One more quick, I don't think I got an answer to this. You said the incident you spoke of most recently, it was a suicide, you couldn't investigate it. Does the volume of incidents equal something that is unique, where there's something to be unusual and learned, because there's been so many crashes?
I believe so, sir, yes.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your testimony today.
Thank you, Mr. Mast. We will now go to Ms. Fauci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being here with us today. I'd like to turn our attention back to diversity in